I'm sorry, that was weird. I'm weird. Yeah. Hey, how are you, family? Welcome back to my channel. This is the channel, or rather, live stream. I'm used to saying that. Yeah. How are you? Welcome to the live stream. Yay! I should be more excited. I am excited, actually. Now, I've been dragging this for too long. Hey, everyone, welcome back to my live stream. It's the live stream where I finally ground myself as a full-on, full-time magister style sorry, Hyakkano content creator. Actually, yeah, I'll still make other anime reviews and content as well. I'm pretty sure none of you really care about that, but I just wanna get it off my chest because it feels, I feel relieved just saying that. But yep, 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you. I really love this manga, and again, this manga has reached 100 chapters. Congratulations once again. And in today's stream, I wanted to sort of give a tribute of sorts, right, to this manga, especially since it already has reached the milestone of 100 chapters, right? And this is actually one of the videos that I wanted to make once it has the manga has reached that milestone, and it would be even more exciting if 100 girlfriends were finally be able to enter into the Rintaro family, right? So hyped for that as well. But in the meantime, celebrating 100 chapters of no heroines losing, that's such a great accomplishment, great achievement. Super happy that this came to be, and yeah, it's just it's good, right? It's good. Congrats. So with that being said, right, the video that I wanted to make is an entire recap video, in this case stream, because I originally wanted this to be a video, right, a video in my channel, but due to how long it would take, I've actually tried recording a bit, I tried recording, but it was too long, so I just decided that, hey, why not just make it a live stream so that it can really be, just out there, right? And also, it would really save a lot of space in the devices that I have, because I don't have that much space for storage, especially for the video. So there you go. But yeah, anyway, I apologize if the mic, sorry, I should probably stop touching that, if the mic is weird and all. So yeah, that's being said, and yeah, let's get started, shall we, with the ultimate, or in a nutshell, recap of the Kanojo series. And we start by going into chapter 1, right? Now, chapter 1, there was an idea, right? This idea to bring together the harem genre and make it so that none of the heroines would lose, right? That whole idea, that very idea, of which part of the reasons why I absolutely love this manga and really adore the harem genre as well, right? And it began when the story begins with our protagonist, Rentaro, a guy who has experienced 100 heartbreaks, 100 rejections, and he goes to a shrine to pray for some romance, and then a god appears in front of him and tells him that the god made a divine slip-up and that Rentaro will encounter 100 soulmates. Because of the said slip-up, he will encounter 100 soulmates, but the catch is that if none of them gets together with Rentaro, then they die. So Giga Chad move to do is to date them all and save them all from death, right? That's the whole mission. That's the goal. But these girlfriends, it's also important to note that these girlfriends are not aware of the situation they're in. Because imagine, right, if they let's put it this way, right? They think they might they think they'll know they die if they don't go out with this guy, so they'll, out of fear, they'll get scared and just date him. But where's the genuine, quote unquote, genuine love in that, right? So that's a mindset that you don't want, right? Well, that's not how it goes exactly, and because of that, Rentaro will genuinely fall in love with these girls and also put into his best efforts in the way he courts them, in the way he treats them, in all the manners in which he can really he will be worthy of their love and their love to him as well. It's a mutual way, right? Pure attentions that's just full of heart, essentially. And in the first chapter, we get to see he encounters two of them. He gets to he gets to face that dilemma. We get to meet Hakari and Karane in the first chapter, and that's when it all goes into gear. So he asks both of them out. Karane went ballistic with the idea. She will in the future chapters as more um, girlfriends come in, but you'll see anyway. So yeah, the Giga Chad Rentaro confesses to both of them, Takare and Karane, they go out with each other. There you go. Now, chapter 2, Rentaro, now that he has a girlfriend and two, that lucky guy, he's learning the ropes of being in a relationship since it's his first time, And in this chapter, we get to have the talk about the first kiss. And now, kissing is it's a big part of this manga as well, Now, the talks of first kiss pops up, and Rentaro, long story short, it was a three-way kiss tie that made it look like a UFO summoning ritual. Yeah. Now, chapter 3, Shizuka, the quiet and adorable princess. She finally enters the stage into this series as the third girlfriend, right? Now, we get to see her backstory, much of her character as well. Then the confession takes place. Then we also get to see one of the famous lines from Rentaro in the series, and that is, and I quote from the translations, "And so, due to how things panned out, would you mind accepting blank," well in this case Shizuka, "as my newest girlfriend," or something along those lines. As usual, Karane went crazy over the idea, and Hakari was just like, "Oh my god, Rentaro is such a pure, nice guy. He is even willing to accept Shizuka, blah blah blah, so on and so forth." And yeah, bottom line is that she's welcomed into the family. Now, chapter 4, they played a tickle game. A game where it's all about tickles, right? Yeah. But anyway, they had a competition, and Shizuka won said competition. But during the rewarding process, which is she gets to tickle Rentaro, and both of the girls, Kakare and Karine, wants that, And there was something odd about how Shizuka is acting, especially towards how tamed she was during the rewarding process, right? And that is when Karine called it out, right? In chapter 5, now, what's the deal with it? Well, the reward, again, is to tickle Rentaro, right? But because Shizuka seemed like she was holding back, it's because she is scared of being compared to both Hakari and Karine, and that she's not good enough. But Rentaro said no. But they said no rather, and because Rentaro loves all of them equally, right? And so Shizuka now lets loose, really gets to fully express her love, and that this chapter, I have to say, also brings up a good point, right? To how the girlfriends would respond in a situation like this whenever a new girlfriend is introduced, right? And they feel, I don't know, insecure or really insecure, I suppose, in a way. And to that I say that, and the manga as well, it stresses that it's not really a matter of who's the more superior girlfriend in the hierarchy, right? No, the case is that all of them are equal. Rentaro loves all of them equally, and us as well, the audience, we all love them equally, right? Chapter 6, we are introduced to the smart and efficient Nano, girlfriend number 4. We get to know her, and she confesses to Rentaro, but all's well, ends well, seems well. I don't know why I did that, but during the confession, she suddenly nullifies it, rejects it out, and it's like setting the outcome on what will Rentaro do if these girlfriends refuses to get together with him, right? But our boy won't give up that easily. Now, in chapter 7, it's Rentaro's first date, and it's with Nano. Nano and Rentaro went to an amusement park. They had fun, learned things about each other, and Nano still refuses to believe that their date was not a waste of time, right? Nano believes that it's insignificant to be together with someone, but then Rentaro tried to burn the photos that they took together, and that was when Nano stopped him because she was afraid to lose something. And at that point, it's when she confesses for real, pure love and all, and she goes in for a kiss. Nice. Chapter 8, Nano is introduced to the other girlfriends, and she is welcomed well. Karen and be all like, that's crazy, fine, going, well, welcome to the club. And chapter 8 is also where we get to have ourselves a swimsuit chapter. Fan service for the win. Fan service moments, yes. Run wild. Rentaro almost drowned. CPR for the win. Shizuka got lost, and some punks tried to harass Hakari and Nano. That's all in that one chapter. Yeah. Chapter 9. Nano tried to sacrifice herself for Hakari from being harassed from the punks, but Hakari be like, no, 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 we won't go along with your whims like that, you punks. And that was when Rentaro steps in and saves the day. But it is also the day where we get to see a glimpse of Rentaro's power, of anger when he gets mad. Just how how powerful this guy is. Anyway, at the end, Shizuka gets found. Karane looks beautiful in his swimsuit as well. Chapter 10. Yep, chapter 10. The senpai who looks like a kohai. The little pharmacist, the medicine addicted addict. The medicine kind. The lovable Kusuri finally enters the lab. Kusuri is in the building. Sorry, that was a bad pun. Yeah, so anyway, you get to have Kusuri is in the frame. We get to know her character trope, her personality, and I gotta say she's probably one of the beginnings, right? The beginning first girlfriends to that trail, to that ladder of eccentric character types. Well, now that I think about it, I think Hakari could also be candidate for that, but I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Long story short, well, Rentaro was influenced, or he drank this love potion to confess to Kusuri, but Rentaro, our boy, with the kind heart that he has, he's all like, nah, if I'm gonna confess, I'm gonna do it not by the influence by some drugs, but with my own heart. And that's the lesson learned. And both child and senpai Kusuri is adorable. For those of you who, sorry, I should probably stress on that. Kusuri, for the uninitiated, is a senpai. She's a third year, but she took a medicine drug that transformed her into a middle schooler. That's it. It's weird, but I love it. Chapter 11. Now, Kusuri gets introduced to the family, and her introduction statement made me spit out my tea. It was so hilarious. Followed up by Renter's follow up to that. I love this manga so much. It's funny just thinking about it, and I wonder how this would play out if it were to get an anime as well. So yeah, anyway, due to some circumstances, Hakari, Karane, Shizuka, and Nano turned into kissing zombies. Kissing zombies it's like, this person who's really addicted to kissing and all that, hence why it's like kissing zombies or something along those lines, right? And so yeah, it's turned into this zombie survival like plot. And in chapter 12, chaos happens as Rentaro and Kusuri try to escape from the kissing-addicted girlfriends. Shizuka, we must still protect. Hakari and Karane are good together too, if you know what I mean. Nano, even as a kissing zombie, is still as efficient as ever. But the person who can fix all this, Kusuri, is at a difficult and tight spot. And then chapter 13, due to how things panned out, everything was resolved. Kusuri gave all of them the antidote, but Kusuri blames her for the whole mess. But Rentaro makes a Giga Chad declaration statement of love, and from that, Nano was amazed. Shizuka thought it was cool, Karane thought it was hot, and Hakari is wet. And then Kusuri also lands a kiss. Chapter 14. The girlfriends went to the park for a group date, and there's this banquet toss competition held where the winner gets to take a picture with the partner in the wedding dress. The fan participates in it, and this is where the famous name of Rentaro's group emerges, and it's called, which is the Rentaro's family. Right, fam? Actually, yeah, I mentioned this before, that this is where my fam came from, right? Fam. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, they face up against this girl gang. Shizuka flew into the sky. God's given airbags came to the rescue when Shizuka fell. They won the competition, and Hakari gets to wear the wedding dress, and they all took a picture together. And this is where my heart stopped beating, because Hakari suddenly said that she wanted to break up. Oh no. Now, chapter 15, we find out that Hakuri's mother, Kahari, is the reason, right? Hakari is forbidden to see Rentaro again, and Rentaro is squared up and called upon the girlfriends. Avengers assemble style, and they plan to take Hakari back. Thus, the start of one of the most beloved and important arcs in the series, in my opinion, I suppose, yes, which is the Hakari rescue arc. Chapter 16, in this chapter, we get to see the family bust into the Hanazone estate. Hanazone is the family name of Hakari, and they sneak in Mission Impossible style, and it ends with a Mission Impossible style problem. And in chapter 17, the fam happens to happen to pass through the Mission Impossible style problem, and they came across Hakari, but unfortunately, they got caught. Now, Rentaro confronts Hakari. Now, long story short, the reason why she's so overprotective of her daughter is because she doesn't want Hakari to face the same grief that Hahari did, that the mother did, because Hahari, the mom, her husband died of a disease long ago, and she artificially gave birth to their child, which is Hakari, when Hahari was just 13 years old at such a young age, right? It's so that she can leave a proof of his existence. And although yes, Hahari was happy that she was able to give birth to Hakari, there's still this sort of void within her, right? Questioning that if this is really the happy life that she wanted and the like. Rentaro obviously sympathizes with her for this, and he declares once more that he will love, cherish, and really protect Hakari forever. And due to some circumstances, right, I better give some context to this. While Rentaro was confronting Hahari, his eyes could not see well for reasons regarding the Mission Impossible style problem. And after his eyes went back to normal, that's when he took a good look at Hahari, and this is where things went up, down, then back up again. Now, there's this thing. Do you know the zing in Hotel Transylvania, the love at first sight zing? Yeah, that sort of thing also quite happens in this manga as well, and that's an indicator that Rentaro has found a soulmate. Well, that sort of zing, love at first sight, happened between Rentaro and Hahari, the mother. Yep. Chapter 18. Now, fam, love is blind. Hahari pulled a 180, and she too is head over heels for Rentaro, just like Hakari. And Karine, of course, went ballistic on this. And there was they had to do the whole lie detector test to test Rentaro's commitment. Of course, he passed with flying colors. And it was then there where we get to see Hakari. She was about to jump off the window, but Rentaro then steps in. Oh, what's gonna happen? Well, in chapter 19, they talk it through, Hakari and Rentaro, but then Hakari accidentally slips and falls, but Rentaro, without a single second to lose and without any hesitation to hold his body back, jumps in, grabs her, and saves her, and thankfully they landed in the food, and they were all relieved. And Karane was super worried for Hakari, and it's just lots of emotions within this scene. And because of that display of love, right, Hahari now accepts Rentaro for his relationship with Hakari, right? But Rentaro didn't stop there, because he also said that he wanted to make her, Hahari, he also wanted to make Hahari happy as well. And so, due to this and to that, she's now part of the family. She is a girlfriend to Rentaro, yeah. And from then on, she turned from being the arc antagonist to one of the most quote-unquote powerfully eccentric yet really vibrant personality among the girlfriends in the Rentaro family that I've ever seen thus far. It's amazing, really, how her character has so much shenanigans filled in it that you just love it so much. She's, again, such a great personality. Again, lovable personality rather. Yeah, great as well. Sorry, dragging this for too long. Chapter 20. Also it ends well. We get to see some fan service moment here and there to balance out the intensity of the previous event, and we get some cross-dressing play, and they plan, right? There's a plan to sneak on Rentaro when he's bathing, and that is featuring a mother-daughter combo at the front lines. Chapter 21. So the girls wanted to go with the plan, right, to sneak a peek on Rentaro. You know, even the girls are etchy here and there. But Shizuka was acting as the knight to Rentaro, protecting his figure, his dignity. But she was thwarted by the mother-daughter combo, and so they commenced a series of plans to try to sneak in, to break in Rentaro in the bath. But after some circumstances, it was Shizuka instead who saw the elephant in the room, and because of that, she fainted, and the girlfriends took on a scolding from Rentaro. Chapter 22. Now in this chapter we get to see some really emotional stuff, right? Hahari accepting her new relationship with Rentaro and the like, and just trying to really settle on her, you know, or her affairs with her deceased husband. In this case we're gonna refer to him as Papari, you know. sorry. Yeah, and again, there's this dialogue within this chapter between Hyakkano and Rentaro that's just really emotional. I'm gonna try to break it down as fast as I can, but long story short, that Hyakkano, you know, Hyakkano and her husband, they can still love each other. Hyakkano doesn't need to forget about, you know, her first love and the like, and you know, also ends well. Hyakkano became the new chairwoman of Rentaro's school, so she could see him every day. And yeah, should also mention that Papari, the father of Hyakkano, and the husband of Hahari, sorry, showed up, and he confronted with Rentaro, and he's also accepting of the fact that, you know, he's also glad that Rentaro was able to quote unquote break her free from the chains of sadness, guilt, yeah, and essentially just making her happy again, you know. Chapter 23 is a Your Name parody. Chapter 24, a new type of girlfriend trope has been found, the hungry type. Kurumi is now introduced to the family into the series, right? So what happens to this? She gets to, as usual, we get to see her character, and Rentaro proves that he can join the Master Chef and win, i.e. he's a cook, and he'd rather spend time, you know, with his encounter girlfriends than some Master Chef competition. Sorry. When yeah, and at the end of the day, Kurumi falls for him, and she confesses the god with him. Chapter 25. Kurumi is now introduced to the family officially, and Hahari is joining, and it's time for the Fight Festival arc. Now it's a cooking contest where it's fam interested, right? They're totally crushing it. They're doing a good job, and Rentaro pulls off a lot of Giga-chan moves here and there. He ain't backing down, so does the fam, and then they finally face their opponent. In chapter 26, the battle continues as the family face not only the antagonist opponent but other competitors as well. They tried everything they could, but their tummies are almost at their wits' end. Oh no, they're in trouble. But in chapter 27, the final term, Rentaro's family versus the cheating antagonist. We find out that he's cheating all this time. What they do, but who won? Of course, it's the fam, right? Rentaro, with the power of love and the power of refusing to vomit out anything your girlfriend feeds you, takes the win. And Kurumi also finally opens up to the rest of the fam, and she also enjoys a kiss with Rentaro. Chapter 28, Hahari wants to play mommy, which is just baby roleplay. Kusuri pops out a drug that turns all of them into babies except for Rentaro and Hyakkano, who happen to escape the effects, right? And we get to see some adorable baby time shenanigans, and yeah, that's essentially it. Chapter 29, it's a fun chapter of fantasy adventure role-playing, and the day was saved thanks to a school-issued tight swimsuit. Chapter 30. Now the fam's having fun. They're doing their thing in the school rooftop as usual. Until a question was raised. What is Maze? May is the maid of Hahari, right? She's a maid of Hahari. What is her eye color? Because she always happens to have her eyes shut, right? You know the character type and trope from an anime, right? With their eyes always closed, and all that. So Harry replied rainbow colored, which was kind of crazy, yeah. And so the fam tried a lot of things to get her to open her eyes, and Rentaro pulled out a giga brain move, and May happened to open her eyes because of that, and it turns out she really was rainbow eye colored. And when she opened her eyes, pretty much similar to Hahari's, the zing, right? The zing happened between her and Rentaro, and now they're going out together, right? She made a confession. In chapter 31, it was May and Rentaro went out on a date. Rentaro acts as the master for the date, and May is awakening her Sanrio dog face. Chapter 32, May officially joins into the family. Everyone dresses as maids, and I was really happy, shouting like a little girl when this came to be. Thank you very much. And yeah, they played a battle royale using squirt guns. A lot of people got wet in more ways than one. May lands a kiss to Rentaro, and soaked Rentaro in a butler outfit is hot. Chapter 33, the athlete with a very stoic work ethic enters the field. We get to see Iku when that happened, and turns out that Iku is a masochist. Yeah. And it's the first time as well that Rentaro rejected a confession from her, because Iku confessed and she was rejected, but he had to, so that she can quote unquote please or pleasure the rejection, right? Or something like that, because rejection hurts, and she likes getting hurt, even the mentally kind. I wish I had that kind of mental strength. But yeah, anyway, Renter was just acting. Yes, acting, because he does indeed accept the confession of Iku, and thus they're going out. Chapter 34. Iku is finally welcome to the family full of eccentric persons, and now it's time for some baseball training. Well, it's because the baseball club will be disbanded if they lose the next practice game, because Iku is the only member in the club, and which is why the rest of the fam would enter along as well. They practice. The practice was fun. It was fun, chaotic, and Iku overworked himself, and the fam became determined to win the game. In chapter 35, we get to see that the game finally arrives against Rentero's family versus Jurassic Park. Now they played some baseball, the fam is struggling, and the other team made Shizuka cry. And that is when the fam unleashed their ultra instinct and went all, God Saiyan mode. Is that a term? Sorry. In chapter 36, the fam uses their unique abilities along the match. Iku faces her fear when she steps into the batter box, because for context, she hit a home run and injured someone, and since then she freezes up whenever she's in that position, right? And she gets to face her fear. Iku pulled out a critical hit, and they won the game, and she lands a kiss, and hooray for sports bra. Sorry. Chapter 7, it's a great day, a great day for expressing your love towards your boyfriend. Now, love is in the air, fam. Lots of emotional stuff in this chapter, and it's where also a mad lad move pulled out by the series, the famous I love you speech, everything that I love about you speech, delivered by Rento. And for those who don't know, well, this said speech is a long one. And I loved it. Chapter 38, the fam goes to karaoke, and Shizuka's voice when she sings is like an angel. Chapter 39, roll out the red carpet, ready your sunglasses, for when you look at her, your eyes might, burn. Not from the baldness like the SpongeBob meme, but no, because of her radiant beauty, it might blind you. And this is, of course, I'm talking about the beautiful Mimimi. The beautiful beauty enters the stage. Rentaro gets beautified, and since they were at the mall, they had a mall date, and we get to know Mimimi's character. What's her stick, and long story short, Mimimi confesses to Rentaro, and yes, Rentaro accepts, but they happen to run into Shizuka and Nano, who were also at the mall. Now, Mimimi was familiar with Nano in the past, and there are some issues to deal with, And so they're gonna have a sorry, excuse me. They're gonna have a beauty seeking contest in which the loser will be exiled from the family. Oh no. Chapter 40. Quick rundown on why Mimimi has beef with Nano, right? So there was a beauty pageant passed and Nano won, and Mimimi went for a handshake, or she wanted to be friends, right? But Nano pulled out a friends are insignificant card, and that left Mimimi with a bad taste. That was not cool. And so the competition now begins. So what this competition is about is essentially calling out the beautiful qualities of the person, right? And so when the game starts, they call the beautiful points out. Rentaro pulls off another Giga Chad move, and then there's at that point when Mimimi was about to leave, but Nano then steps up and apologizes to Mimimi. Really lots of see the fruits of labor when it comes to the character development by Nano, and it's good. I love it. Also, yep, Mimimi forgave her, and now that they're friends, Mimimi is welcomed into the family. Chapter 41. So it's a chapter of beauty, makeup, lots of kissing, lots of kissing, and you have also this Shokugeki no Soma ecstasy style of moments, you know, when they eat the food and they go yeah. And you also have David Taro. Chapter 42, it's a hairstyle chapter, changing up the hairstyles of the girlfriends. I love that chapter, really nice to see them in a fresh new look. And one of Kusuri's drugs again caused some chaos, and Hahari's hair became sentient and it goes attacking people. Some hair action, wink wink. The fam escapes and a mom's hair almost takes over the world. Wow. Chapter 43, the hair is still a huge problem. Nano and Mimimi did this attack combo, it's just nice. You have badass Shizuka wearing sunglasses who saves the day, and Rentaro goes to the core of the problem, which is where Hahari is, and Papari, the husband of Hahari, real MVP in this, and a kiss from the prince saves the day. And at the end of the day, again, Hahari is the mother of all humanity. Chapter 44, Kurumi wants to know what a French kiss tastes like, and so Rentaro devises a plan where Hahari mommy is the real MVP. So everything went fine. Chapter 45, Rentaro wanted to go for a 42-kilometer light jog, and until he spots a girl with bangs, much like a certain protagonist. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, no. She meets a girl with large bangs that's covering her eyes, right? And her name is Meme. Now, Meme loves knitting. She's really good at hide and seek, and she's really shy. And she runs away from Rentaro because she's shy. And Rentaro rips apart reality and finds Meme. 46, chapter 46, Meme is introduced to the fam. They play hide and seek, and Meme is yet to be found, and she was hiding in the vice principal's afro. Rentaro sneaks in a kiss, and then she ninjutsu vanishes out of the scene. Chapter 47, May wants to get Hahari a present for taking such good care of her. She went shopping, but ended up giving him, Rentaro, as the present instead. Chapter 48, the fam is enjoying life as usual until Karane took a drug from Kusuri as usual that removed the tsundere nature, the tsundere character trope, the tsundere characteristic personality of Karane, and now she's just a plain girly girl, you know. Now, what's the opposite of tsundere? Yandere? No, not that. Just dere, yeah. Now, as how precious as that sounds and the scenario would be, it seems like the good old Karane, the tsundere Karane, is the best Karane after all. But Karane doesn't want that. She wants to stay as the dere kind, and she wants to express herself honestly, but Rentaro talks to her and boom. Love for one another for who they are is the most important kind of love. And lesson learned. Chapter 49, this is the chapter where they try to figure out how they can turn Karane back to normal because the antidote that Kusuri made didn't work. And so Hyakkano and Karane get to work, they get to intimate again, and Rentaro has figured something out. And in chapter 50, they execute that plan into action, right? The plan is to gather this tsundere energy into this accumulative spirit bomb like style spirit bomb, and it's a tsundere fest, right, where all of the girlfriends became turned all tsundere to get some of that tsundere energy. It's basically a tribute to the tsundereness of Karane and to tsunderes everywhere, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. And so yeah, they launched that to Karane, and she's back to normal. Nice. Chapter 51. If a mother joins in on the family, why the hell not wouldn't a cousin be? And that is when Chiyo is introduced to the series. She is a neat freak, yeah, loves things orderly and stuff, and some circumstances happen, and then the uncle, Chiyo's dad, or Rentero's uncle, right? Sorry, excuse me, even approves of them getting together, and they did get together. Chapter 52. Chiyo is introduced to the family. Hahari is ready to dig in, and Karane is all ballistic as usual. You know, calling out the elephant in the room of the problem, which is, yeah, I completely understand why. But anyway, we get to see in this chapter we get to see Chiyo overhaul the family to fit her standard of order, and the result was a mess. She cries when her glasses comes off, and and when that happened, the fam got worried for her, and it ends with Chiyo acknowledging that the Rentero family may be eccentric, it may be unique, but it is still a family with lots of love. And yeah, welcome to the family, Chiyo. Chapter 53, merch plug chapter. Chapter 54. Chapter 53. Did I say 35? 53. Chapter 53, yeah. Merch plug chapter. Chapter 54, it is when chapter 54 is when Chiyo bans kissing, which again, as I've said, kissing is a huge deal as well. One of the things that I love as well about this manga. And yeah, because of that, the ban, the girlfriends go restless, and they start a revolution to get her to kiss Rentaro. But then Kusuri used that damn kissing zombie drug again, and Chiyo was infected. The fam stopped her. She goes back to normal. Rentaro lands a kiss, and Chiyo lifts the ban because kissing is great, and everyone is happy, including Rentaro. Chapter 55. Now, there's a news reporter who is a user of the Total Reporter breathing techniques, Demon Slayer reference, and she wanted to take a picture of Meme, but Rentaro threatens to use force to take the newspaper club down for being so unethical, so to speak, and it failed. Hahari tried to use her authority, but the case is lost. And so Meme trains her hiding techniques using a bunny girl with a bunny girl outfit, and Mimimi devises a plan, and behold the beauty misdirection strategy. And of course, the plan went successfully, and Mimimi happened to catch a glimpse of Meme's eyes without her bangs, you know, and she loved it. She loves it. Chapter 56, a lap pillow chapter, as each girlfriend offers their lap as a pillow. It is also accompanied by different dreams featuring the characters within them, and there's also a Junji Ito reference. Chapter 57, a new teacher joins the class, and this new teacher will be the new addition to the family, as usual. Yes, it is. And this teacher is Nadi Sensei Nadeshiko. Nadeshiko, the fam calls her Nadi Sensei, right? Now, she is a Japanese teacher who is dressed as an American cowgirl, and you know, she gets some alone time with Rentaro. She steals a kiss and confesses, but Rentaro finds out that Nadi is actually a pure Japanese person, despite the whole American gal look, right? And yeah, there's all sorts of things wrong here, especially the teacher-student relationship of it. But this already is the mother and Rentaro and cousin, so why the hell not, right? And so yeah, with that, we don't really mind it at all, really. Nandi is such a riot in the family. I love her. Chapter 58, Nadi is introduced to the family, and the first activity they had is a cosplay runway, right? Essentially, the idea is to express the freedoms of each of the girlfriends through their costumes, and the final scene is an outcome scene that I dare say rivals the moment in Avengers Endgame where all of the Avengers get together and Avengers assemble! Avengers Endgame, yeah, that's the one. Sorry. Anyway, chapter 59. The family finds themselves stuck in a cramped photo booth. Iku and Hahari enjoyed themselves, but they need to find a way to escape before any of them needed to go number one. And so yeah, they escaped. Chapter 60, Iko and Rentaro went on a scary movie date. Iko loved it. Rentaro was terrified. I love their reactions to it. Anyway, after which they went to a batting center, they played some baseball, and they schooled this other couple, right? And Iko pulled on a good move by giving said couple the prize to the competition that they were in. And Iko's great for her own boyish self, and yeah, she's now confident in herself, love that chapter. Chapter 61, Rentaro, Shizuka, Kosuri, and Chiyo go shopping. It's freaking adorable, really adorable. They encountered some ruffians though, but no worries, because Kosuri steps up and saves them, along with Rentaro, who joins in by giving them a taste of 0.000000000000001% of his dark shadow form power. Sorry. Chapter 62, Hahari wanted to play idol group. Love Idol Master parody. Sorry. So the fam undergoes idol training, and there's this instructor, right, that they're really that's really kind of strict, yeah. So the fam is struggling with that, but they're doing fine. Half of them are doing fine, half of them are struggling. And then the instructor pulled on a really angering move where she wanted to exclude the people, the strugglers, right, from the show. But then the other half of the fam was like, no, if we're doing this thing, we gotta do it together. And so the instructor pisses off, and Rentaro then takes over as the new coach. Here we go, idol arc. Chapter 63. It's the idol performance day. Chiyo's dad and Rentaro shadow ninjutsu as a devoted audience. To act as a devoted audience. I love that. I love that move. And it's also followed up by a larger audience who came to see the family perform. And it was just a beautiful display of hard work being paid off. And them, the family, smiling and having fun and having the time of their lives. And yeah, some producers scouted them, but they turned them down. So there's that. Chapter 64, Big Love. Yamame, the patron saint of nature, Mother Nature herself, if I do say so myself, finally enters into the scene. While Rentaro and her hanged out in the school garden, we get to know her. Then this blazing demon of fire wreaks havoc. Rentaro saves the day, she confesses, and we got ourselves a pacifist, a nature lover, tree hugger, really adorable, wholesome, again, character, girlfriend in the family. Chapter 65, Yamame is introduced to the family, and she introduces them to the school garden, and they all dress like goddesses that even rivals the real goddesses. When they're wandering the Garden of Eden, Kurumi is in paradise, and Rentaro pulls off a Giga Chad move where he noticed how Yamame feels insecure about her height, and then all the girlfriends made it so that they too are tall, and Rentaro lands a kiss to Yamame. The others too kissed him, but it made it look like a bunch of titans devouring a Service Corps scout. Yeah. Chapter 66. Oh, I hope I'm not losing myself. Chapter 66. The fan decides to hold a hot pot in the Hanazono reference, the house of Hahari and Hakari. And with eccentric characters, you also have eccentric ingredients into the pot. Really funny. And yeah, Hakari put in some otter meat, and because of that it made them aroused, and so they hold a sumo tournament where the loser gets to do what the winner has to say. Hot pot sumo tournament arc time. Chapter 67. The tournament begins, and the fam gave it their all, but there is still the quote-unquote best fighters left to defeat. Chapter 68, after much battling, Rentaro came out on the top, and Hyakkano is sad because no more, lovey-dovey time. But Rentaro, the sneaky dog, also wants to get some, if you know what I mean. That's right. It's hugs and kisses galore, and it's not just one round. They went on it till morning, all night. Yeah, all night. Love that chapter. I really wish that was, get to see that animated. If it reaches that part, it'd be so good. Just saying. Chapter 69. Rentaro encounters the masseuse with morals so loose. Gotta give credit to Uto translations for that. Momiji, she is a masseuse. She loves massaging people, and she gets to massage Rentaro's Astro Boy body, and she got hooked from it. And Rentaro transcends reality and meets Nozawa Yukiko Sensei to help with the manga in order for him to get that Astro Boy body. And then Rentaro and Momiji runs off to heal Nozawa Sensei. Chapter 70, Momiji meets the fam, and they get a one-way ticket to Relaxation Town, free spa, lots of chubby, bubbly, eye candy, marshmallow, Thymageddon, and overall cuteness moments within this chapter. And Momiji lands a kiss to Rentaro. Chapter 71, some middle schooler from Chio's class are causing trouble, and Chio is troubled by this and consults Nadi about it. Nadi asks what's wrong. She tries to do things to treat. Nadi tries to help, but Nadi being Nadi, some of her ideas ain't gonna fly. I'm sorry. But yeah, Chio tries to confront these troublemakers, and Nadi shows up just doing Nadi things, flinging around her American justice, her lasso of justice, her freedom lasso or something. And yeah, lots of things happen, and at the end of the day, just things are resolved, and Chio learns to blaze her own trails. Very good. Chapter 72, Kusuri's drug is at it again. This time, Nano turned into a tiny nano, and it's cute. We get to see some danger here and there, and at the end, the chapter ends beautifully. Chapter 73, the fam are out shopping, and they get interviewed by this reporter, and they were asked things about their boyfriend, experiences with their boyfriend, and each of their stories are all about how Rentaro's acting like this Giga Chad and doing all of these hardcore stuff. You're just more evidence really in how Rentaro has evolved as a boyfriend, as a character through the series. And anyway, after the girls' interview, Rentaro comes in, and when the question was asked, he blurts out all of the things that he loves about his girlfriends, and as eccentric as it may sound, the reporter commented something that was off-putting, and because of that, Rentaro went all ballistic boyfriend monster towards the camera. They deserve it. Chapter 74, Rentaro meets Kusuri's parents. There's some dad and mom stuff to handle, and then this spy antagonist shows up. There's danger ahead, then Kusuri's dad went all Hulk smash on the dude, and then Kusuri's grandma enters the room, and yep, this really was the trigger for me that anything could happen in this manga. I saw the signs, I knew what I was getting into, but I never would have expected this to happen. And in chapter 75, we get to introduce ourselves. We are introduced to Yaku, the grandma of Kusuri with a body of a child. And this was a result from a quote-unquote failed drug product experiment, whatever. Yeah. And so yeah, even Kusuri is cool with the grandma Yaku joining the family, and Rentaro and Yaku took a stroll, get to see her character, get to know her backstory. She's really giving off that wise, mature energy, right? And she's not tech savvy, but Rentaro acted like a wild man to impress her. And long story short, Yaku goes for the smooch, goes for the kiss, and yep, we welcome her aboard to Rentaro's family train. Wow, Chapter 76, Yako is introduced to the fam, and yeah, their reaction is just as you would expect. Even Hari, of all people, would comment on the quote-unquote ethical concerns of this, but they're cool with it. Now they play a game where Yako guesses who's who based on their character traits, and it's fun to see this mix and match among these girlfriends in a character setting that is other than their own. For instance, Hari being the maid, you got Shizuka being the tall one, you got Yame being the tsundere and all that, Hakari being a yank, and Nadi being the smart one. Really funny stuff. Chapter 77, the fam goes on an onsen date, disaster strikes, the fam got separated, and we get to see these girlfriends interact with one another. There's lots of bonding that's happening, and at the end of the day, they enjoy a paradise in a hot bath. Now, chapter 78, Hakari teaches Yame to leverage assets, quote unquote, and so we get some, action lessons in there. But Yame being all wholesome on the thing, and yeah, just wholesome energy spreading all around, and what there's an event where like the squirrel even the scroll that sits on top of Yamame's head plays along. It's really fun again. And so now the time came when the lessons are put into action, right? Now, there was some mishap that happened, and Yamame did something. We're gonna see what. She just did something that sent Rentaro flying out because of her happiness. And at the end, Hakari learns how her cultivated charm is also something that Rentaro loves just as much as the natural charm that Yamame has. So yeah, Hakari really developed well in this chapter, I have to say. Chapter 79, Rentaro goes on a date with Hakari, but Hakari is dressed as a high schooler, and if I do say so myself, she looks good, really good. So yeah, they went into a teddy bear museum, and Rentaro once again displays maximum boyfriend power as Hakari learns to be happy to have met Rentaro in this time rather than when she was younger. All's well ends well. Chapter 80, the fam goes to a hiking date. Disaster strikes, the fam got separated, and we get to see these girlfriends once again interacting with one another, bonding and the like, and at the end they get to enjoy a sight better than the summit of a mountain, each other. 81, I almost got lost there for a second. Chapter 81, Rentaro runs into some thugs and he is saved by a knight in dazzling high school girl attire. And this knight is Kishika. They get to know each other, we get to see her character backstory. We get to see her backstory when Rentaro finds out that Kishika is the type who likes to get spoiled, and I mean really spoiled, to the point where like she would go all baby mode, So yeah, we get to see the reason for that from the backstory, and then she confesses to Rentaro. Boom, we have ourselves a knight in the family ranks. So I was about to say a knight in diaper armors, but that sounded wrong. I apologize. No. 82, chapter 82, Kishika is introduced to the family, and they had a kendo tournament, sword tournament, right? And Kishika is pretty good at soloing everyone. I remember in one of my videos, sorry, sidetrack, one of the videos that I've made about the who's most likely to video, I commented along, there was a question like, who was the strongest among the group or something like that, and I was leaning on the more athletic types, like Eiko or Karene, but then yeah, Kishika is also pretty good as well. I should really check on that. So yeah, anyway, she won and kisses Rentaro, or so she thought, but because actually she didn't win, and it was Hakari because she sneaked in on the attack. And as a prize, well, I'm just gonna say that Kishika was spoiled really good by mommy Hakari, and yeah, just read it for yourself because I can't explain it here. Chapter 83, the Rentaro's family heads in to eat some ramen, and each time the owner prepares these really ridiculous challenges or ramens, and that of which the fam overcomes them easily. Well, some, right? Chapter 84, Harry wants to play mommy, but this is part 2, everyone who turned into a baby except for those who everyone turned into a baby. Sorry, everyone turned into a baby except those who already did it in the last chapter. Now we get some more fun shenanigans with them as babies going on, and at one point the babies start crying. Rentaro is in anguish for not being able to do anything, and the babies comfort him with pity in their eyes. Chapter 85, we get to see the day in the life of Rentaro, the boyfriend of all boyfriends. We get to meet also the love god again, and this is such a good chapter as well, a good moment to address the whole mission of Rentaro, right? The god apologizes for it, saying it's a burden, but Rentaro said, thank you, because thank you for them giving me happiness as well, and me in turn thank you for making me be able to, for giving him strength, something like that, to make them happy. It's a win-win, you know. He never thinks of it as a burden and the like, because he always finds a way to be happy with them, for them. Chapter 86, it's a pocket game but with 18 players. Yeah, that's fun, really fun. Chapter 87, Rentaro meets Ako, the low-key gal, in a fashion shop. They get along well, and Rentaro learns her story. They set up a stall in a flea market. Ako confesses to her and lands a smooch as well. Got ourselves a gal in the girlfriend ranks. Chapter 88, Ako is introduced to the family and right up in today's list of activities in the Rentaro's family of activities that we'll do. They are playing shopkeeper. Now the girlfriends pair up, setting up a shop, and they're buying things using a currency that is that is worth far more than Robux or V-Bucks or even more bucks, which is Ren, according to the translations I've known. Chapter 89, Mei and Iko go to a temple to undergo aesthetic training. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And so yeah, they are pros at this, you know. Iko and Mei strengthening their bonds and their wills. And we also get to find out that Rentaro also completed this rigorous training course. Chapter 90, they say never meet one of your heroes. Well, Shizuka and Rentaro attends a book signing of Shizuka's favorite series, but the author isn't what they expected. Shizuka is, Shizuka is heartbroken because of this, but it turns out that the real author is somewhere else. Well, so they find her, and yeah, that's more like it. That's the author that I was envisioning. But it's just there's just this beautiful interaction between author and reader, and it's just some really wholesome stuff. Chapter 91, a big bird, a bird turned a fish into a spear. That's referring to Pentaro. And that made the girlfriends find ways to quote-unquote equip each other, or essentially pull off combo skills, which is a fun chapter. And chapter 92, Karane and Ako hangs out together until they encountered Ako's old group of friends. A fight breaks out, and Karane and Ako are now BFFs. Well, they all are, right? Ako's BFFs with everyone, but the relationship between Ako and Karane in this chapter was really wholesome and sweet. I love it. And yeah, anyway, Ako, because of that interaction, she was totally pissed off. Chapter 93, Glasses Supremacy Chapter. Chapter 94, Levels. Now, levels. Let's get medievaled up in this level, right? Rentaro gets to meet the wandering bard / Chunibyo, Uto. Now, Uto's been busting out poems here and there, a lot of really big brain poems, if I do say so myself. I really love her character. She's good with an ocarina, and she lands a kiss to Rentaro. Quite unexpected, really. Never saw that coming. Thought there's going to be more development until she reaches that point, but no, lands the kiss. And long story short, they're together. Chapter 95, Uto is introduced to the family. They be playing a Ask the Wise Mage any question and I shall provide the answer game. And she really is sophisticated when she does answer, Uto, I mean. And Uto ends it by busting out a ballad that even the musical geniuses of back then and in our time would agree that it's good. 96, Hahari Kusuri Kishika, Iku, and Momiji are trapped in a giant jar. Who will emerge out as the most powerful in the goo? Is that how I'm pronouncing it? The one, it's the jar, right, where you put all the insects in the jar, and the one who emerges victorious is the most poisonous, or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, that game plays out, and Hari was the last one to emerge out. And however you want to interpret that, well, just keep it to yourself or share it with it. I'm curious to know also your stance. For me, well, knowing that Hari is the last to come out, well, that's also why I love her. But it turns out that Rentaro is actually the last one. Now, chapter 97, the school festival arc starts. Chiyo and Kusuri's dad joins in too, and the fam's biggest threat, right? There's an all-star team put up by a rival town's mayor, and of course, they use underhand methods to win various events, but they're no match for the fam and all their unique and quirky abilities and personalities. Chapter 98, the events continue. The family's hanging in there against the opponent rather, sorry. And Rentaro has exhausted himself for participating in a lot of these events all at once. And the girlfriends, they're really motivated. They're ready to step up their game and to go even further beyond, and plus ultra style. Chapter 99, the final event of the decided championship, and there's this women's division relay race with 19 people who are within that chain. That's the event one. I'm not gonna question any more of that because I know it's just a story, but a relay race with 19 people. Wow, that's something, I gotta say. But yeah, the girlfriends are really giving it their all. So much, passion put into the race, and really facing all their fears and anxieties and the like. Because they really have to do it for the fam. They have to do it for the family. They can do this, right? And at the end, of course, Mimi is the one who drove it home, and they all won the race, the school event, but most importantly, they win in our hearts. Chapter 100. Chapter 100 is essentially a popularity poll contest chapter where, spoiler alert, but it's not really a spoiler, really, because we all know that all the girlfriends won first place, and even Rentaro, as you would expect. And so, with that being said, that is 100 chapters in a nutshell recap of this series of Hyakkano, of 100 Kanojo, of the 100 girlfriends who really love you. And again, once more, just really congratulations to Kazuo Sensei and all the staff involved in this series. 100 chapters, congratulations, it's amazing. And with that being said, I am really I'm really drinking some water. Anyway, take care, fam.